Hello, today I'm going to be teaching some basic knot vocabulary along with some basic knots. So, starting with the vocabulary, when you're tying a knot, you have to know the parts of the rope. This is the standing end, this is the part you're not messing with. This is the bite, which is the loop, and then this is the end, this is the part you're using to tie the knot. Now, going into types of loops, we have an overhand loop, which comes in from the left and out from the right. And then we have the underhand loop, which goes over from the left and under from the right. So now we're going to move on to some basic knots, starting with the square knot. This one is tied left over left, left over right. So you put the right rope over the left rope, you pull it under and tie, and you put the left rope over the right rope, and then you pull it under and you tie. This is used for tying ropes of the same diameter, and you can see because it holds them nicely together. Second knot you should know is called the figure 8 knot. You take it, you create a loop that's going up from where you want to tie it, then you wrap the end around the standing end, and then you pull it through the loop you created, and you can see why this is called the figure 8 knot, because it's in an 8 motion. Second knot you should know related to the square knot is called the sheep bend, because it is used for tying together ropes of different diameters, for example, one smaller, one bigger. What you want to do is you want to create a loop with one rope. It doesn't really matter which, and hold it. Then you put the end through the loop. You wrap it around the part you're holding, and then you see this loop you've created. You want to take your end, go through it, and pull both sides on both. And you can see that this is a sheep bend. Next knot you're going to want to know is called the bowline. What you want to do is you want to take a piece of rope, make sure it's vertical, and then create a loop to the right. Make sure the loop is always to the right. Now what you want to do is you want to take your end and put it in through the bottom of the loop, go around the standing end, and go back in through the bottom of the loop. And this is used for making a loop that you can hook things onto. Last knot you need to know is the overhand knot, which is tied like this. You take your rope, make a loop, go over the standing end with it, and then go under, and then over and pull. It kind of looks like a pretzel, and that's the overhead. I will be using a black marker to teach the next couple of knots, but I highly recommend that if you want to practice these, you practice them on a chair leg. So we're going to start with the clove hitch, which you start by going over an object, then coming back over and across the original area, then go under again, and then this part you created when you went under, you want to put it through, and you want to pull both ends. This is called the clove hitch, and if you did it right, you should be able to see the two lines and then one go. Next one I have for you is called the taut line hitch. What you do is you throw your working end over the object, you make a loop, try and make it rather small, go around, go into the loop and around twice, make a second, come out and under, make a second loop right here, put your rope into the loop and pull it, object escape, and this is a taut line hitch. Usually this part would be a lot more tightened, but you should be able to see 3 rings and then the rope coming out. You can see, yeah, like that. The next one I have for you is called the double half hitches, and it starts very similar to the taut line hitch. So you take your object and you throw a rope over it, then you create a loop, and you go through it once, only once, then you come to the left, create a loop, go under, pull, and my object slipped out. But if you made a double half hitch, you should be able to see 2 lines. One of them has the rope, and then a little ring around the lines. The next knot I have for you is called the half hitch knot, which is basically just an overhand knot on a stick. or an object. So you start with an object, bring the rope around the object, bring it under, bring it over, actually bring it under, and then take an area that, remember for channel, bring it under, overhand knot, and this is called the half hitch. Now this is not very secure, so I would recommend using a double half hitch. But if you wanted to know a half hitch, it's literally just an overhand knot on an object.